Hi Michaela, it's Fancy, and like I said in the post, I'm glad that the comments were pretty similar. The ones that I put in your last video, and the ones that you received from Linda in critique, so that's good. You've definitely broken up the boundaries, that's great. This seems to be moving more in and out of focus. What I would do, so you have this kind of long area of fire. It needs to be balanced on the left side, so I would make sure I have, a bit of fire over here. It can be small. You got this here, maybe just, you know, continue it in some form or fashion. Um, Here you've got the fire and water, the fire here. Here, if you stretch this out, you would have kind of the fire around this interpenetration. I don't know if you feel like that would be consistent with the way that you have the other ones, because this isn't right next to that, and neither is this, and this is next to kind of the pure perceptual opposite, this the after image color, and this one is too. But what's kind of interesting is that this is reading more as kind of, interpenetration. It's not reading as fire as such. Because there has to be more of this red and more of, well, this has enough, but there has to be more red right next to this. The only other consideration I would ask about at this point is, or ask you to consider at this point, are these interpenetrations. They are reciprocating, but do you feel like they're figures on a ground? So think about, this is pretty high contrast. This not so much. So, how little contrast can you get by with so that they do show up as interpenetrations, but not figures on a ground? That would be my only concern. So you've extended the fire here. You want to balance this out by some fire over here. And then, again, you need to think about figures on a ground. Usually we say kind of in threes, but you've got these red ones here, and some of them will be placed next to the perceptual opposite. So I think that works out okay. Look at the contrast for this one, because it's surrounded by hues that are more red than they are green. So the saturation is less, but it could still probably go even a little lighter. So a little darker, a little lighter, or lighter, quite a bit lighter, unless you plan to keep the fire there, and so on and so forth. You're almost done.